Hello my friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are you? I hope that you are doing well and fine. Let us continue to praise God for all the blessings that we receive coming from Him. And every time that we are praying, please let us include our brothers and sisters who are suffering right now due to COVID-19. So I welcome you for another fruitful discussion about this topic, social background versus cultural background. And if you are interested to join the discussion for today, I am encouraging everyone to please type any comment or question on the chat box below. And on my next live stream, I'm going to read and answer all your queries. My dear friends, I remember one show or one game in Itbulaga. It's entitled Bawal ang Judgmental. It is true that in our present time, there are people who are being judgmental. Sometimes they are giving discriminatory opinions and reactions against or towards other people whom they do not know. So in order for us not to become judgmental, in order for us to prevent being discriminatory or to discriminate people or an individual, we should have full knowledge and full information about them. And this is actually the importance of knowing the social background and the cultural background of a person or group of individual. The social background and the cultural background also serves as our identity. It's very difficult for us to say that we are Filipinos because all we know that in our history, we are colonized by the different nationalities or countries rather, and also our culture are influenced by different cultures coming from the different colonizers and different foreigners who visited and traded in our country. So it's really difficult for us to identify our identity. But having known and by understanding the social background and cultural background of our individuality, of the Filipinos, this will somehow help us to identify what is our true identity as a Filipino, as a nation. That is why, my dear friends, it's very relevant for all of us this time of pandemic to really have a deeper understanding about social background and cultural background. So let's begin the discussion. When we say social background, it is concerned on your personal family background or orientation, education, social origin, economic status, and work experience. So these are the scopes of actually social background. Let's try to explain the concept and the scope one by one. And let's try to relate the concepts in order to solve the problems that we are facing at present and to analyze the issues that we are experiencing at present. When we say family orientation, it talks about what kind of principle of ethical, moral, and value system and principle that are present in your family. Mind you, we are the product of our family because family is considered as a basic unit of our society. So, who we are, what we are, it is highly influenced by our family, most especially our parents, the siblings, and the relatives who form part our family. So that is family orientation. Okay? The values that we learn from our parents greatly influence our thoughts and actions. So it's very important for us to develop a positive family orientation. Okay? Second is education. When we say education, it's all about your scholastic attainment. So far, what educational attainment did you receive? Were you able to finish your elementary education? What about secondary or your senior high school education? Or even, did you already finish your college or tertiary education? Or do you or are you pursuing your graduate or postgraduate education? So that is your educational background or attainment. It talks about your present scholastic attainment or what particular achievement related to education you were able to achieve or receive at present. Next is the social origin. When we say social origin, we are talking about your particular role in the society. Are you a type of individual who are having or performing complicated or important duties and responsibilities in the society? So that is your social origin. Your duties, your obligation will identify who you are in the society and make sure that your function in the society, you will do it with integrity and dignity. Next is the economic status. When you say economic status, it's all about your material possession. Because in our society, our material possession, it becomes the basis of what is your status in the society. If you are a type of individual who possess assets, properties, and big amount of money in the bank, you may consider yourself to be included in the rich class of people. These are people who belong to the upper class in the society because they have power and money and influence. So these are people who belong to upper class society of the society. In French, they are called as bourgeoisie or the rich people. Now, are you a type of a person or individual who can buy things, but you are just earning based on what you need, So you may consider yourself belonging to the class of what we call middle class, no? In the Spanish period, in the Philippines, it is called the Ilustrados. So that is the middle class people. Okay? They are not that rich and they are not also poor. They are just at the center because they can actually enjoy life. They can buy things because they have money. Do you consider yourself to belong in the poor people or the lower class? These are people who do not have properties. They don't have asset. They don't have money. So they consider themselves as poor. Okay? So they belong to the lower class of in our society. So that is what we call economic status. Okay? Which class do you belong? And the basis of it is your material possession. The other one is the work experience. When we say work experience, we are referring to the type of work you are having and the condition of work you are having at present. Okay? So what type of job do you have? Okay? Is the type of work or job that you are enjoying at present, is it considered as professional job? Okay? Because when we talk about when we talk about job or work, diba, we considered people, those who finished their college or even pursued their postgraduate education, they are considered as professional. And for those people who were not able to finish their college level, but they possess skills that are also important, no, in our economy, they consider themselves as non-professional, but they are skilled workers because they were able to train or to attend seminars and training certificates related to technical vocational skills. Okay? So that is what we call work experience. So we can actually classify the types of works that we are doing right now based on professional and non-professional jobs. So where do you classify yourself? Next is the cultural background. When we say cultural background, we are referring to the context of one's life, experience as shaped by membership in groups based in ethnicity, race, social status, gender, exceptionalities, language, religion, sexual orientation, and geographical area. Now, let's try to explain one by one. Now, when we say ethnicity, this is based on a particular group that you are associated. Example, if you are born in Mountain Province, perhaps what particular tribe or ethnic group do you belong? Do you belong in the Apayao ethnic group or Igorot people? So that is what we meant by ethnicity. To what particular group of people do you belong? Now, if you were born in Bulacan, so you belong to the Bulakenyo or Bulakenyo. Yeah, Bulakenyo is a big group, major group in the Philippines. It is also related to Tagalog because we have in the Philippines, we have major ethnic groups, no? We have the Tagalog, the Visayas, okay, the Visayan or the Visayas people, okay, the Bisaya people rather, and then people who are living in Mindanao. So there are different groups of people and ethnicity in the Philippines. So your ethnic identity can be identified to your place of birth. Next is race. When we say race, it talks about your nationality, whether you are American, Filipino, or other nationality. So race talks about your nationality. Next is the social status. When we say social status, this is all about your reputation to a particular society or group. Do people respect you? For what reason? Okay? What is the perception of people to you in the group or to the society? Okay? And in vice versa, how do you project yourself to other people in the group or in the society? So that is your social status. If you are being dignified or respected in the society. For example, the barangay captain. So the barangay captain is performing a specific duty in your community. So therefore, the social status of barangay captain will be the people will look up to him or her because of the duty that that person is fulfilling. So that is social status. Next is gender. When we say gender, it refers to your sex, whether you are a male or female. Okay? But in our present time, gender does not only equates to male and female, because there are other gender expressions. And these are people who belong to LGBTQ++. Okay? Those are gender expression. So we don't limit only gender expression into male and female in our present time, because there are many expressions of gender who are actually existing, occurring at present. Okay? Next is exceptionalities. So when we say exceptionalities, we refer to people who are disabled, people who have disabilities. So that is exceptionalities, no? And people who possess, no, giftedness in terms of skills, in terms of intelligence. There are highly gifted people who possess high intelligence and high skill, or skills rather. So that is what we call exceptionalities. And that is also a scope of cultural background. Next is language. So when we say language, what kind of language do you use when you communicate? So in the Philippines, there are hundreds of dialects, no? Dialects, these are small languages spoken or used by ethnic tribes or groups in the Philippines. That is dialect. So we have major languages and we have minor languages, or what we call dialects. Now religion, all right, this is very common when we say religion. Do you belong? What is your faith? Okay, what is your belief about God? Okay, do you base your belief based on the Islam tradition, or the Christian tradition, or the Catholic belief and tradition, and the like? So there are many religions in the world, and it is only talks about your belief in God. Next is your sexual orientation. When we say sexual orientation, this is your interest, no, in choosing your partner. Okay? To whom you are attracted. Okay? What is your attraction? Do you possess high or strong attraction to female or to male? Or even you are both attracted to male and female. So that is actually your sexual orientation. And last one is the geographical area. So geographical area talks about to your place of birth, whether you are born in the Philippines, okay, and what particular place in the Philippines do you were born, rather. So that is the geographical area. And it also talks, no, about the existing practices and tradition present in your geographical area, because we are also externally, these are external factors that also influence and changes our way of living and way of thinking. Okay, and that is also related to geographical area. So, friends, no, if we're going to ask you, after knowing the social background and cultural background, okay, there are many issues that are present, no, happening in our country, one of which is the pandemic. Okay, so sometimes we have to take a look closely, or closer rather, the policies and the programs that the government is implementing at present, okay, in relation to the solution in preventing, okay, that's the spread of COVID-19 in our country. But we have to take a look if these policies are actually based on the social background or the cultural background of a person. Okay? So, policies and programs that you are going to implement to a particular community or to a particular country, before you implement it, in the process of crafting the policies and the program, first, you need to really take into consideration the social background and the cultural background of the entire country or the group of people or the community. Because if you are not going to take consideration the social background or the cultural background, we may say that that policy and programs will not become successful. So let's try to analyze and to look back the policies, programs implemented by the government at present. Do you think that in those policies and programs, can we see that the social background and the cultural background were considered as reference in the implementation or crafting, draft, or creation of those policies and programs? So I am just asking because, like I said, in order for the policies and program to become successful, we have to really consider the social background and cultural background of the community, of the individual, community, and the entire country. So I hope I was able to give you fresh insights and perspective. And always remember that no matter how difficult life is, God alone is enough. And that is according to Saint Therese of Avila. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on my next live stream discussion. Bye-bye.